Hello everyone, and welcome to the Influencer Barbie channel. We have Miss Barbie Roberts, and I am Barbie's assistant. My name is Beverly, and I am an adult Barbie enthusiast. Welcome to our Barbieverse. We create content for people who love all things Barbie as much as we do. Now today, Barbie is in her kitchen. I actually got this set, I think, at Amazon back in 2020. I'll check and see if it's still available and put a link to it below. This set, I was trying to find something that I liked the color of pink in it, as well as our silver, but also these different pieces can be moved around a bit, so that way when we do finally get the Barbie house set up, we can kind of experiment a little bit with the setup to make certain that we really like how the Barbie house and kitchen are. I'm hoping to also add a pantry and then some counter spaces where Barbie can do prep work and stuff. Maybe do an island counter, because we know that Barbie and her family and friends all enjoy cooking a lot. And today, what I wanted to do, Barbie and I are wanting to do more crafting videos here in 2026. So I thought, with continuing the videos that we have done a few times already, where we show how you can craft some things for your Barbie house by using trash, quote, quote. So items you might be throwing away, or let's hope recycling as much as possible. And so I wanted to show you how we can take some of those trash items and make pots and pans for Barbie. And first I'll show you real quickly. We've got our craft mat down here, and this is at Fiskars. You can't really see it very well. There we go. And I was trying to find a larger craft mat that we can have here in the Barbie studio to help protect the floor of the Barbie studio. I have not been able to find a larger one at my local Walmart, but if I am able to, I'll show that to you in an upcoming video. So, and we have some scoops from powdered drink mix, and so what I was going to do today is we're going to paint these to make some pots and pans for Barbie to use. And here is my palette. You can see I'm also recycling some container lids here, and we actually did this in a previous video where we put together some and painted some craft beds for the Barbie pets, as well as a doghouse for the Roberts family. And I have a couple of paintbrushes and my bottles of paint. These were from Walmart, and they're very low price, so if you end up deciding that you absolutely hate what you've painted with these paints, it's not a large expense. So I have silver and black. You can use any color combination. I thought the silver would be really good to paint the bases of our pots here, and then we can use the black for the handles. So we will go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start painting the outsides and also the insides of the pots with the silver, so that way we get really good coverage for our pots and only have to use one coat, essentially. One coat for the inside and one coat for the outside. And then we will do the handles with our black paint. And I was thinking maybe we might want to do pink paint instead to go with Barbie's color scheme here, but I thought that the black paint would be a little bit more reasonable. Okay, so go ahead and shake that up. I'll paint the insides first. Okay, so I've got all three of these painted both inside and outside. I'm noticing that this paint doesn't seem to go on quite as smoothly as the tan and brown paint, and I'm not certain if that's more due to the paint or the type of plastic that I'm using for these pots versus the doghouse and the pet beds that we made. But I'm going to allow these to dry. The paint needs to dry for at least 1 hour, and then I'll be able to handle the pots. I'll be able to hold them by the areas that I've painted with the silver, and then I can go in and paint the handles with the black paint. So I'm going to allow those to dry, and then we'll be back and paint the handles. And we are back. So I've allowed all of our pots here to dry overnight. They need a minimum of 1 hour drying time so that the paint will be completely dry and not sticky, but I like to give it overnight. And these actually came out pretty good. I was afraid that there'd be a lot of streaking in the paint, but between painting the inside and the outside, the coverage did seem to be pretty good. I did notice the plastic for this larger pot seems to be a different type, and the painting on the inside didn't seem to cover as well as the other two, but between the two, painting the inside and the outside, we seem to have pretty good coverage. So now I am going to take my black paint and paint the handles. So I wanted to make certain that the pots would be nice and dry so that I don't end up with silver paint all over my fingers. Alright, so here we go. We have all of our pots painted here. Now I'm going to give them at least an hour to dry completely. And even though I did get pretty good coverage with both the silver and the black, I think I'm going to need to go in and do some little touch-ups in some spots just where I missed the coverage, and also I've got a little bit of black paint there, so I want to be able to scrape that off and clean up that one a little bit. But we have 3 pretty good looking pots for Barbie's kitchen, and these were all easy to make, and we did this with items that would be, quote, trash, so things that would be thrown away, or let's hope that everyone is recycling as much as possible. And so these will go nicely in the Barbie kitchen. And another thing that you could do, this particular size scoop is a bit on the large side for this particular style of pot. So I was thinking that if we were to get another scoop this size, what we could do is cut the handle off and then maybe attach some pieces of wire to it to make it more of a soup pot style. And that would also help to expand our collection of cookware for Barbie's kitchen. So let us know in the comments if you've ever tried doing any of this style of crafting for your Barbie kitchen, or if you've done different types of crafting and maybe some different crafts that you would like to see us do here on the Influencer Barbie channel. Barbie and I are hoping to do some more crafting videos here in 2026, and so we would love it if our audience would let us know the sort of crafts that you would like to see us do. So thank you very much for watching, and please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to be part of our Barbieverse. And be sure to ring the notification bell. It really does help our channel to grow. And once we hit some subscriber milestones, we plan to have some fun giveaways. And if you would like a chance of getting a shout out in an upcoming video, just comment below with the hashtag InfluencerBarbie. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in our next episode here in our Barbieverse. Bye-bye!